Hey, have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When CJ and I were trying to get this podcast off the ground, I had a lot of questions. How do I record an episode? How do I get my show into all the apps that people like to listen to? How do I make money from my podcast? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use too. And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. We use Anchor because we live over an hour away and it brings us together as if we're in the same room. The sound quality is better than Skype and more reliable too. So if you've always wanted to start a podcast and make money doing so, go to anchor.fm/start. That's anchor.fm/start to join us and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. We can't wait to hear your podcast.
We will not be held responsible for any hearing impairments or damage caused to you from excessive exposure to this sound.
Hey CJ, remember that one time?
Oh yeah, it was fucking epic.
You're listening to
Remember That One Time,
the Inappropriate Storytime Podcast.
and these are not your mama's fairy tales.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is Remember That One Time with your hosts, Chris.
And CJ.
And today we are going to talk about vaginal breakouts. It's not what you're thinking. Nobody has any sort of disease on their coochie, because that's what it sounds like.
I mean, we don't.
Well, somebody probably does, and you probably know someone who does. So just think about that when you talk. I mean, you don't know the silent struggle that your friends may have. They could have coochie critters. You don't know.
Coochie critters.
What
yes.
is this? Coochie critters and panty crickets. Panty crickets is always the one that gave me the fucking creeps.
Oh yeah, that's fucking terrifying.
Exactly. Coochie critters and panty crickets. That's the most southern word for crabs ever.
Panty crickets.
Yeah, you don't go
like
around. You don't go around. God, I can't even think of a southern girl's name. I was gonna say Jessica, but that's everywhere. What's a good southern girl's name? Like Charlene.
Anything with two names, like
Oh yeah, Katie Jo. Well,
Katie Jo, Billie Jean, Sarah Beth.
right. Don't go near Sarah Beth. I hear she got panty crickets. You can hear them chirping all the way down the holler.
Oh Lord of mercy.
Right. I'm withering in this heat. This is terrible. Okay, we are complete
We
stereotypes.
took a left somewhere at Gone with the Wind. I don't know what happened.
Right. The South will rise again. Yeah, so we're not talking about said panty crickets. We are discussing the day that you have broken out of your mother's womb, therefore vaginal breakout, aka birthdays. We're too extra to call them birthdays, so we couldn't just stick with boring because it's not us.
Yeah, we don't do that.
So I've got a couple stories and CJ's got a couple stories. And then we will wrap up. But mine, I haven't had anything interesting really happen on a birthday in a solid 15, 16 years now.
I've been taking that as a challenge.
Right?
We're gonna go big for your next birthday.
Yeah, that's gonna be 33. Who goes out on the town and breaks the town on 33?
I mean, you do.
35 maybe.
Speaking of 35, we got a story about 35 later on.
Right. Well, my interesting stories basically stopped at 16. But before 16, the first one that got the ball really rolling, of course, as a kid, you always have your little birthday parties with cake and ice cream and a couple of friends over. I had one at 9 or 10 where my cousins came over and we put a bowl on our head with cotton balls on it, and you had to spoon the cotton balls without spilling the bowl or something. I don't know. Stupid stuff like that.
Wow, that sounds like a hell of a good time.
I know, right? We raised the roof. So in order to really put myself on the map in school. Like, I'm going to throw this big house party and I'm going to invite everybody and I'm going to be friends with even the cheerleaders. Like, everybody's coming to my house and we're going to throw down.
And there's going to be no parents.
Yeah, exactly. No, there were both actually, I think my dad disappeared like he did every single birthday party ever.
I wouldn't want to be in the house with 12-year-old girls either.
Right, exactly. Well, it was I guess we were really sticking with the 12 theme because it was my 12th birthday. 12 girls showed up. We had 12 bottles, like 2 liters of Coke and 12 pizzas. And we went through that. We tore that place up. We decided after a while, I know there was prank calls involved to the boy down the street, and of course it was on like speakerphone. Everybody was giggling, all that mess. One of the girls, like one of the like popular for the wrong reasons kind of girls, I know she started talking dirty to this guy, and my mom shut that shit down real quick.
I mean, like, who's talking dirty at 12? Like, I mean, that's a bit much.
A girl with a reputation is. Well, that's who.
True. She got a reputation to uphold.
Exactly. So like I said, mom shut that down quick. And when like of course, at that point, we saw it as, oh my God, mom is the murderer of fun and we will never have fun ever again in our entire existence.
Right. And this girl is so cool. Oh my God.
Right. Oh my God. She said penis.
Such a rebel.
I know. And so that happened. So instead, we picked up our pride and we moved to my bedroom because we were doing all this like straight up in the living room. Like, I don't know. We were all, I know, it was crazy. So we went to the room and everybody gets this idea like, oh my God, let's go through Chris's dresser and let's play dress up with all of her clothes, which I don't know why anyone would ever get that idea because I am the least fashionable person on the planet. I'm like, fine, you go for those cat sweaters. See if I care.
Yes.
All right. So they literally took every piece of my dresser apart. They like dumped the dresser drawers upside down, strewn all my clothes all over the place, hanging from the ceiling, over the closet door, everything. It was nuts. And so mom came back and she's like, what are you guys doing? She swings open the door and she's like, oh my God, the stench of something on my floor that actually, if you put your face to the floor, you can still smell it. Do you remember those little bitty body sprays that were called Juice Bar?
Yep.
Back in the late 90s.
And they were like neon colored.
Yeah, and they
some
always
of them have glitter.
Exactly. They always had that sugary sweet smell. You're like, I'm pretty sure ants are going to eat me if I stay outside too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the cotton candy one.
Oh,
and
God.
I swear, if I find this on eBay for less than like $35, I'm buying it tomorrow.
I can still smell it. Yeah, I literally can still smell it to this day. Exactly. I know exactly what it smells like.
Yep. If I just looking at the package, I can smell it. Mm-hmm. So one of the girls, for some reason, decided to open the cap and literally pour it into the carpet.
Because, that's what 12-year-old girls do.
I guess. I don't know if there was like a beef between two of them or something. I don't know.
They were probably just going to pull a Megan and just roll in it.
Probably. But yeah, my niece's bedroom is what my bedroom was. And you can still smell cotton candy in the carpet. So
it was quite strong for a couple of years. I mean, I don't know how you slept in there, honestly. Right. It was so strong.
Yeah, it was pungent. And so after mom like went off on us for making a mess and spilling fucking perfume everywhere, we moved back into the living room again and decided that we were going to have a dance party now. So we're going to put on NSYNC and we're going to jam. Well, about 20 minutes into NSYNC and jam, something else jammed, and it was mom's $600 stereo system that jammed.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was like one of those 35 CD changers.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I remember those.
Yeah.
With like all the extra speakers and the subwoofer, and they all had like the little like individual like wires that you had to twist to get them on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you open this big thing and you have to like load each CD and there's so many slots.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what happened was somebody put like 3 CDs in the same slot. So when it went to like pull the CD back to play it, it was like, error, no. And then it just like sparks started going and there's, smoke everywhere. And Mom's like, that's fucking it. I'm done. I'm calling all y'all's mom. You, and you. Never want to see you again on this road. I will call the police. Like, she was done. She was having none of it.
I mean, $600, that was a lot of money 20 years ago. It's a lot of money now.
Exactly.
I'd be pissed off too.
Yeah. So once I'm pretty sure that the one that was talking dirty and saying penis to this boy down the road, I am pretty sure she called her parents and made her go home.
Why was she saying penis to the guy?
I don't know. It was no, they were talking dirty. So it wasn't just like, hey, penis.
I want your penis in and around my mouth. I don't know I'm 12 years old. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but
right. It was more like
the thing to do.
Yeah, I want to touch your penis type of thing. It just,
wow.
Ooh, baby, let me see your penis. Like that's, and of course that was controversial, and we were all like, oh my God, she's such a whore. Oh my God.
See, that just shows you like how corrupted kids are nowadays. Because like nowadays you get 12-year-old girls in the same room. Like they're like taking pictures of each other's vaginas and sending it to the boy down the street and sneaking the boys into the windows and taking turns sucking his dick. Like there's
teaching each other how to properly pole dance.
Exactly.
Girls.
Like there's no in-sync listening going on anymore. There's no dance parties. It's not 2 liters of Coke anymore. It's like
12 grams of Coke.
Exactly.
Yeah, like girls, you need to find more productive ways to disappoint your father.
Right. Exactly.
Honestly, so that was 12. And at that point, my mom was like, never ever are you having a birthday party. I'm not buying you a cake. You don't even have friends around April 1st through April 30th. You don't got friends.
As far as I'm concerned, you have no birthday anymore.
Yeah, exactly. You were just immaculately conceived. You were never born. You were just here. The end. So no more birthdays for you. And finally, I threw so much of a fit that I was like, you know what? I've got my sweet 16 coming up. It's my time to shine. I need to do this again. I'm gonna try it again. We're a little bit older. We can handle ourselves. We've got Red Hot Chili Peppers now instead of NSYNC. We have boys that we're gonna actually try to look at their penis. Like, it's time. It's time for us to ramp it up.
It's go time, baby.
It is. It's go time. We have boyfriends. Like, we don't even know what to do with a boyfriend at this point still. But we
have them.
Yeah, we got them. We got a train of them. They're lined up.
Yep.
Toot, toot. Get on this bus. Buses don't say toot. That's supposed to be a train. I don't care. Fuck it.
We were 16. Live. We didn't know. We
right?
don't really know how any of this works.
Exactly. This is what you get. We're doing this raw. End of story. So I finally got the permission again to go for my party, my sweet 16. This consisted of me, CJ, her boyfriend at the time, my boyfriend at the time, CJ's other friend, which we'll get into later, our mutual friend who was like the token funny gay guy, and
he's in one of my stories.
Oh, is he? Which one? Are you talking about J.E.
The skate center?
Oh, no, I'm talking about the one that used to live on my road in Smyrna.
Oh, that lived with my boyfriend.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was there. And also our other mutual friend that was like really close BFFs. And I miss him dearly every day. He's not dead or anything. He just went to a different part of our city and never spoke to me again. Son of a bitch. Actually, I know. I found his picture the other day while I was cleaning my closet, and I was like, I miss this kid.
I know.
I know.
Like, so cool.
I know. I miss him every day. So
we need to find him. Where's Unsolved Mysteries when you need it?
I don't know. Well, a couple years back, I found him on Facebook, and like we had this little message. I was like, oh my God, how you been? And he responded and everything was good. And I was like, we should go bowling together or some shit. And we never spoke to each other again. So I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, so he was involved too. So we had this big group of people. They were pretty much just like my close group of friends. It wasn't the I'm gonna try to be popular and invite 12 random bitches to my house again, because that failed miserably. This time I'm like, I'm gonna
Because
have
by age 16, we were like, fuck all y'all stupid bitches. We don't want to have anything to do with you.
exactly. By
We
then
were
we had
doing our
already
own shit.
right. We had already targeted the TSS and we didn't want anything to do with that.
There was some bad blood there.
There was a lot of bad blood. Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure there's still bad blood. Like, there's a couple of key members of the TSS
Oh
that,
yeah. Oh, there's
like,
one that I got into a tiff with at our high school reunion. Like,
oh my
yeah,
gosh,
it was a
me too.
problem. It's like bitches gonna bitch, haters gonna hate. I don't know. Whatever. So we got this Sweet 16 going, which I've started the story like 85 times. I'm so sorry. We had all our people. I opened my presents. Everything was cool. I got tickets to see Def Leppard. It's actually River Stages is a thing that we used to do here in this area that has now been pretty much replaced. There was fanfare, but then it was replaced by CMAs, and that can fuck right the hell off. That's just insane. I work in Nashville, and I will have nothing to do with the CMAs. Blah blah blah. So got my tickets, everything was cool, and then that night, that's when we're gonna ramp it up because, party goes up when the sun goes down. So we decided to have a bonfire out in the back 40. I don't have 40 acres, but like on the back two. I think I was raised on
we
like
were young.
4.
It seemed like 40 acres.
It did. I was on like 4.5 acres, and I felt like I was like on the range.
Like, we had an entire forest at our disposal to play
Yeah.
in.
There was like little areas, like over here's the barn, and for some reason we got this little area with a bunch of broken glass and antique bottles. I don't know what that was about, but and then we had this like clearing in the woods, and we would go up to that clearing, and that's where we would hang out if we were trying to like get some privacy. Um so there was the bonfire, and we're all talking and giggling. And at this time, CJ had like a hand camcorder because she
Sony
wouldn't.
Handycam.
Yeah, the Sony Handycam. She wouldn't go anywhere without it. And it was my Sweet 16, so she was going to capture every moment, which she did. And I'm still pissed that it's gone. That's a whole other story. That's a whole other episode. But so I went up in the field, and then I came back down running, and literally what happened on the Sony Handycam was me and her holding each other's hands, squealing like pigs, and jumping up and down because I got my first kiss that night. How was it, you ask? Everything that a 16-year-old imagined, which is terrible.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah, well, I didn't realize it until I like looked back on pictures. I thought he was hot shit because he worked at JR's Foodland, or Junior's Foodland, I guess. He worked at the Foodland in town, and he drove a Monte Carlo. So I was
He
like,
was a total bro.
yeah, well, no, not even a bro. He went to a different school, and he was a few years older than me, and he drove a car, and he had a job. So I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. I'm moving up in the world, y'all. But looking back, I'm like, okay, he worked at a grocery store. His Monte Carlo was like an 84 beat to shit car. And he like went to school in a different area called the slums. Like it wasn't as hyped up as I thought it would be. I met this guy while auditioning for a band called Snot. I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know what happened to that.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. And so looking back on pictures, he had, when like teenage boys try to grow a mustache, but it doesn't quite work, and it's all patchy. And straggly and everything.
Like, why don't they just like wipe a bunch of Rogaine on their face? Like, is that a thing? Does that work?
I mean, either do that, or most teenage boys have an overabundance of pubes as it is. Do a transfer.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
all or nothing. Like, don't walk around with little patchy bullshit because it just makes you look like a little wuss.
Yeah, it looked terrible. So, of course, that first kiss was like half of my mouth was scratched off by a nasty ass mustache. And then, like, I didn't realize how bad his teeth were until I was looking at pictures again. And I'm like, what
Oh
the
yeah,
hell? What was
they were
wrong with
bad.
me? But
I
I was 16. It was the first one, and it made my night. But then, just wait. That was the beginning of the evening. By the end of the evening, he was hanging out in the front yard, not with me, but with CJ's other friend she brought. The the hoe. That's
the
what she did.
hoe. The hoe.
The hoe. That meddling hoe. Yeah. And so I found out after, like 2 or 3 days after that party, he dumped me for the hoe. I got my
Fuck a
first
hoe.
kissed and dumped within the same week. Ass
Fuck a
hat
hoe.
for the hoe. What's the hoe doing nowadays? I have to know.
I have no idea. I haven't
You
talked to
dropped
her.
the hoe. I'm proud of you. High five through the phone.
Probably about 9 years ago, she had this. She was married, and he was like beating her and shit. And I told
Shit.
her, I was like, dude, I'm sick and tired of you calling me and whining about him doing this. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to come there. I'm going to get all your stuff, and you're leaving because I'm
Right.
not going to listen to this anymore. You need to do something. And so I went out there and I got all her stuff, and she was going to stay with me, and we got it all worked out. And she went right back to him, and I said, fuck it. I'm done. I'm done trying to help you.
Yep.
And I haven't heard from her since. So
Well,
I
then.
don't really know.
Well, those are the only two, like, big birthdays I can think of in my life. I'm sure you've got some better ones. Take it away.
So the one I was talking about earlier about our friend that we haven't spoken to in ages, I think this was probably my 14th or 15th birthday. We went to the skate center, remember?
Yes,
We all,
it was around the same time that Avril Lavigne's Skater Boy came out, so I'm thinking 99 or 2000.
yeah, something like that. Like, either way, we were all hot shit
Of
hanging
course.
out at the skate center. And the best part, get this, the best part, my mom dropped us off. She didn't even stay. She dropped us off. So I was like, yeah, that's right, bitches. No adult supervision.
Nice. I don't want to like super interrupt here, but I just had a memory that I seriously have not had in years and years. Speaking of being dropped off at the skate center, my
Yeah.
parents used to drop me and Heather off every Friday, and I had a boyfriend for all of 12 hours that I met at the skate center because I thought he was cool because he could blow bubbles out the corners of his eyes, and he gave me his beeper number. So continue.
Beat me anytime, baby.
Right, exactly. Continue with your story.
I don't think it's as good as snot bubble eyeball, dude.
No, it is.
So we're all just skating along, and I don't know if we were distracted or if he just wasn't looking, but our friend completely just like annihilated this girl. Like, he was going like Mach 10 because he was one of those dudes that could like, oh look, I can skate backwards and I can skate with my eyes closed, and
Guess
and
not.
he wasn't wearing any like nerdy like skates that you rented from the skate center. He was like inline skates, like fancy shit that
Speed
you saw.
skates.
Yeah, like fancy shit from the wish book of Sears, like
Nice.
that kind of stuff. and and I think he was just probably showing off or something. He's going like Mach 10 down the rink, and this girl is like, fumbling. Looks like she's probably her very first time on skates ever.
Yeah.
And he just, I mean, plows into her. Just like, I'm pretty sure he actually ran her over with his skates. I mean, she wiped the floor with her face, and it was so bad. Like, I couldn't help but laugh because it was really, really funny. But at the same time, I was like, oh my God, are you okay?
Yeah, she became a speed bump for a minute.
She was not okay.
No.
She like went into this all out, like, I think it was like a combination like asthma attack and panic attack. And they cleared the floor. They like made the announcement, and they're like, everybody off the floor. back up, make room, and the like freaking, I mean, it was like fucking the Olympics or something. Like these random like medics on wheels came out, and they were like, picking her up like a sack of potatoes and, putting her on some gurney and taking her to a back room. And then all of a sudden we see this ambulance pull up and they're loading her in the ambulance and they're off she goes. And I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck? Like, I wanted to like find out somehow, like, is she okay? Like, I mean, I don't think she died or anything, but like, what happened? Like, is she okay? But we never knew. So after like an appropriate time of like sitting there and, like going, oh God, this really sucks. We were like, well, there's nothing we can do about it. Might as well keep skating.
Right?
So we just kept on.
Yep. I'm pretty sure I just heard Getting Jiggy With It come over the stereo, so I have to get back on the floor. Sorry.
Yeah, like, I mean, moment of silence for the ambulance girl, but we got to get back out there.
Right? Ambulance girl.
I don't know what her name was.
I don't know.
So there was I think it was in high school, so it must have been the next birthday, I guess. I was turning, okay, so that must have been my 14th. This was my 15th birthday.
Yeah.
It was at the house. We had everybody over and everything. And same boyfriend from Chris's birthday party that we were talking about a minute ago.
Mm-hmm.
He was older too. I was turning 15 and he was about to turn 18.
Yeah, you were gonna run away with this guy. It was crazy.
Yeah, my parents were not thrilled. So we're all standing there and we're opening presents, and I open my present from him and it's a diamond ring.
Damn.
And everybody, like, I'm thrilled because I'm like, yes, this is my dream come true. I'm the first person in my class to get engaged. This is all I've ever worked for. And
priorities.
So like my mom and dad are like looking at each other like, aren't you gonna do something? We need to do something. I don't know what we need to do, but we need to do something. Like, they were both just like, is
it okay to drop kick a minor?
Like, I mean, it just casually like, here, have this diamond ring, like in between the cake cutting and the piñata. Here, will you marry me? Like, right there in the dining room. And so that was my current boyfriend. The guy that would end up being my next boyfriend / fiance was there as well as a friend. And I didn't know it at the time, but apparently he was like in love with me. And like, he saw this whole diamond ring escapade and, the
oh yeah, his world was over.
Yeah, it was just like flatline, it's done. And all I remember for the rest of the night, all I remember is he had like this big huge brick laptop. I mean, this is like, what was this, 2002?
Yeah, it looked like something from the military.
Yeah, like the entire laptop looked like a briefcase. That's how big it was. And so he like took his laptop and just like went outside and was just like, I don't know what he was doing. I mean, this is way before Wi-Fi. Like, I playing solitaire. I don't know what he was doing, writing his memoirs. No idea. But he literally stayed outside and went back and forth between talking on his brick cell phone to my arch nemesis and playing solitaire on this brick computer. So there was that.
Radio edit. Big yikes.
Anyways.
Crisis averted. Anyways.
Yeah.
Something more recent, maybe?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't think I have any more old ones. So I have to address the fact that if you are a regular listener, you probably know that we promised you a video / emergency episode.
Yeah, LOL.
We promised you something that we did not deliver on. And
that could be every single podcast. We promise so much shit that never happens. We have such high hopes. And then we're like, oh my God, no, I don't feel like it.
Well, I mean, it wasn't that I didn't feel like it.
You guys were busy.
Well, we were busy and I was on the brink of death. We both were.
Good God.
When you party so hard on Friday night that you have a hangover on Saturday and Sunday.
Shit.
It's pretty bad. Or maybe it just means we're getting old. I don't know.
I don't know what
Anyways,
happened.
so okay, so we get there, we got checked into our bougie ass hotel. We were staying at Embassy Suites, and we have a great view and everything. And we were talking to the lady that checked us in. She said there's a complimentary reception every night with free drinks. And I was like, you had me at free drinks. What time? Tell me when and where, and I'll be there. And she said it's from 5:30 to 7:30, and it's like you go down to the lobby slash bar, and there's all the free drinks you want, and there's snacks. So they had like pretzels and chips and salsa and things like that. And then there was like any like drinks or any beer you wanted. Like they'd make you a cocktail, you could take shots, whatever you wanted. So I was like, load me up. Like I'll just keep going in the line, because like you can only have one drink at a time. So I was like, that's fine. I'll drink this one while I'm standing in line for my next one.
Oh my
It's
God.
fine. And don't you worry, I'll be done with it by the time it's my turn to order again. Don't worry about it. I'll be here to hand you the empty glass. And so we did that the first night, and then I was asking the lady up front. I knew there, because we were really close to the airport. I knew there was a free shuttle to the airport, but I was like, just on the off chance, like I know the answer is probably no, but is there a shuttle to Nashville, to downtown? And she was like, yeah, it's $10 round trip. And I was like, what? Because I mean, an Uber from the airport to Nashville one way is probably like $16-18, and then back it's going to be, because it's like 2 or 3 in the morning, it's going to be even more expensive. So I was like, that's a hell of a deal. And she said it runs till like 2:30 in the morning. So I was like, sweet, sign me up. And so she was like, yeah, just call us and let us know when you want them to come pick you up, and we'll call them and let them know. So we get on the little shuttle bus, and it goes to a couple of other hotels around the airport. And there's this dude, he looks like super, super young. And he was like 19, I think. And he was all by himself. And he was kind of talking to us on the shuttle and everything. And so when we got off, we were just, like maybe 2 blocks from like where all the bars are. And so we're walking, and he was kind of walking kind of near us. And he was like, do you guys mind if I hang out with you? And I was like, yeah, of course. He seemed cool and everything. And so he hung out with us for a little while. And
Yeah, Ted Bundy seemed cool too.
Well, we weren't going to take him home. I mean, so he hung out with us for a couple of hours, and then he was like, well, I think I'm going to call the shuttle because I'm getting tired. It was nice to meet you guys, blah, blah, blah. And so, and everything up until then had been, I mean, we were having a good time, but it was pretty tame. And like, I don't know what happened, but after he left, like all hell broke loose. So I don't know if I just was drinking a lot, but I'm sitting there.
I don't know if I was drinking a lot. I just spent 2 hours in a line refilling my drinks.
I mean, obviously I was drinking a lot, but I'm just saying, I don't know if that's what contributed to this or not.
I'm willing to bet.
No, because I went back and looked at the pictures, and this actually happened. But at the time I was thinking, maybe I'm not seeing what I think I'm seeing because I'm drinking. But I was seeing the right thing. So I'm sitting there, and I see this guy in a Jay Cutler jersey, and I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. And then I kind of turn to my left, and I see another one. And then I turn to my right, and I see 2 more. And they're just popping up everywhere. Like, they're just appearing out of fucking nowhere. Just Jay Cutlers everywhere. I'm like,
the hell?
And I started trying to count them, but they kept moving around. And I started counting them like 17 times. And like the first time I counted, I got like, 14. The second time I got like 21, all these different numbers. And I was like, what the fuck? And so I ended up going up to this one guy, and I don't know why. Sometimes there's something about Nashville. It makes me want to fight. It makes me kind of angry. I don't know.
God.
we were at Kid Rock's, and I went up to one of the Jay Cutlers, and I grabbed him by the collar, and I said, how many of you are there? And he was like, 24. I was
Good
like,
God.
what the fuck? What's happening? Why are there 24 of you? And so he was telling us that it was his buddy's bachelor party, and he loves Jay Cutler, and he wanted everybody to, and they were from Chicago. He wanted everybody to come to Nashville for the weekend, and he wanted everybody to be wearing identical Jay Cutler jerseys. And I was like,
dumb, but
well, if
okay.
that's not the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard of.
There you
And
go. Insult them.
I actually said that. And then another Jay Cutler came up behind him, and he was like, amen to that. And he high-fived me. He was like, I fucking hate Jay Cutler. As soon as this night's over, I'm taking this thing off and just throwing it in the trash. I was like, okay. And
Cool story, bro.
yeah, cool story. And so, like, they ended up talking to us, and he kind of was talking to my friend, and they exchanged numbers. And anyways, so we ended up, they went their own way, and we went our own way. And so we got back to the um uh hotel, and we decided we wanted to go to the pool. And it was an indoor pool, and it closed at 10 o'clock, and it was 2:30 in the morning. So naturally I'm like, it's fine, we'll just walk right in, like, we own this place. I didn't pay $300 a night for this hotel for nothing. Like, we own this shit. And so we walked in, and we're just, sitting in there, we're swimming, having a good time. And we're the only ones in there, obviously. And these three dudes walk in, and they're being all loud as fuck. And I was like, y'all need to pipe down, because you're going to get us kicked out. And he was like, they're not going to kick me out. I'm a Hilton Platinum member or something. And I was like, first of all, we're not at the Hilton, so try again. Second of all, they don't care if you're a platinum member. They, like, the pool closes at 10. They're going to kick you out, and they're going to kick us out too, because we're here. So shut the fuck up before I punch you in the face. And he was like, oh yeah, well, I can do the splits. I was like, okay.
Dude, he's the worst fighter I've ever heard.
I know, I'm like, what? I was just kind of looking around like, is there a punchline to this? Like, what is this? And this dude is he's wearing a shirt with like cut off sleeves, cut off denim shorts, like jorts, and like Justin muck boots. And his shorts are short. They are short. And so he goes, oh yeah, I can do the splits. I was like, I don't give a damn if you can do the splits. And he literally drops to the floor, he does the splits, and a ball sack falls out of his jorts.
Nice.
This is not happening right now. And I don't even remember anything after that, honestly. So we wake up the next morning, we go downstairs, fucking amazing continental breakfast. There's an omelet chef. There's 2 omelet chefs. He will make you whatever kind of omelet you want. So we go down there, we're eating everything in sight. We drank all this champagne and orange juice that morning. We were feeling good. And then the dude, one of the Jay Cutlers, texted, and he was like, hey, you guys want to like come hang out at our Airbnb? Like, we're just like sitting on the front porch and drinking and, having a good time. We might go throw some axes later. You want to come? I was like, yeah, sure.
As one does.
Why not? So we get in an Uber, we go all the way back downtown. They're like at some random ass house. Like, I don't even know. I'm pretty sure I'm still drunk. I don't know. So we get to this random ass house. There's just, I mean, you can imagine like 24 dudes in one house. There's shit everywhere. And when I say shit, I mean actual shit. Like, these dudes had a kick-ass time. Like,
Gross.
I didn't even know what happened in that place. And so we all just kind of stood around and talked, and we took shots of Jameson at like 9:30 in the morning. And they just went on and on about how great Nashville was, and they loved it here, and blah, blah, blah. And I happened to see there was like a pouch of Black Rifle coffee sitting there, and I was like, oh, my husband loves that stuff. And one of the guys was like, oh yeah, I work for them, and he knows like Matt Best and that other dude, and that's all Chris does is watch their videos like constantly. And so I text Chris, and I was like, you're never gonna believe this. We're at some random people's Airbnb, and one of the guys works at a Black Rifle Coffee Company. He's like, get a selfie. And so I got
Oh
a
my
copy
God.
and
Yeah,
sent it to
when
him.
you sent me that picture, I was like, I don't know who the fuck this person is, but CJ seems really excited. So I was like, oh, yay, you met a celebrity.
I was excited because I knew Chris would be excited. And so I texted him and told him, and I was like, oh my God, you're never going to believe who's here. Like, I mean, it would
Nice.
have been cooler if it was like actually Matt Best, but it wasn't. So
Let the man dream.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, and you know what? Like I said, I was still drunk from the night before. We took shots of Jameson. I don't really remember, but at some point they said that they were gonna go throwing axes, but me and Tabitha wanted to go do something else. And we were like, I don't want to wait for you guys to get ready because like they all had to have showers and there was 24 of them and they were just taking forever. And we were like, okay, it was nice to meet you, but we're going to go. Like, y'all have fun.
Right?
Enjoy Nashville. Like, there's a story for you to take home. You had some random ass chick show up and do shots of Jameson on your front porch.
I
So
love it.
yeah, that was it. It was rough.
Yeah,
We didn't even do anything Saturday night. We were still so like feeling nasty and hungover from Friday. We just like we went to Joe's Crab Shack and ate, and then we just went back to the hotel and just like
nice.
laid there going, "Oh my God, my body's never gonna recover from this." So
Gross.
yeah, it would have been. I mean, well, they didn't get the Skype or the full YouTube video, but you uploaded those videos I sent you during it, right?
I don't know. They might be on our website. I've slept since then, so I really don't know. If not, I'll add them in just a little bit tonight or tomorrow.
Okay, well I'll send you some stuff.
Seems
You
legit. We'll
can
get
you
you
can
guys
post
in
the
on it.
picture of me and the almost Matt Best dude.
That sounds like a plan. So, what? I think you've got one more story.
Do I? Oh yeah.
Something
Oh
about a
yeah.
drink cart.
Oh yeah. Well, it actually wasn't a excuse me. It wasn't a birthday story. It just happened last weekend, and I thought it was funny. Like
Ah,
we were at we were at Dick's dancing, and I was standing there at the bar, and the bar back had like the little hand truck thing, and he had like a bunch of crates on it or whatever, and he was pushing it behind the bar, and he hit me in the shin, and it didn't really hurt, but like it just flashed through my head like, oh my gosh, if you grab your shin and be like, oh my God, it hurts so bad, maybe he'll buy your drinks for the rest of the
my
night.
neck. Right.
So like immediately it was like a knee-jerk reaction. Like he hit me in the shin, I reached down and grabbed it, and I was like, ah. And he was like, oh my God, are you okay? I'm so sorry, are you sure you're okay? And I was like, here's the deal, I won't sue you if you buy my drinks for the rest of the night. He was like, deal. And then he like waved down the bartender. He's like, Layla, give her whatever she wants on me.
Oh. Yeah, he didn't want to end up a Facebook casualty.
I was like, thanks. I took a drink of the drink and I was like, this drink makes my shin feel so much better.
Right? God, this just like my niece who's like, I'm sorry, but I can't go to sleep without ice cream. It just makes me so sleepy. Like, y'all think you're pulling some shit.
Right.
Nobody's falling for your shit. He just thought you were cute and was gonna buy you free drinks.
Exactly.
Now, that would have been a better, like, you would have felt better about yourself for the next 2 years if that was the case.
Some other random guy bought me a drink too.
Well, that's
And
sweet.
I took it. Because like me and Chris have had this conversation. I was like, so like what's the protocol? Like since I'm married and obviously I wear my wedding ring when I go out. So I'm like, what's the protocol? Like, do I take the drink? Do I not take the drink? And he's like, dude, save money, take the drink.
Right?
I'm like, hell yeah.
He
And
knows
so
you're gonna
like
take the drink, but not take the dick, so why not?
exactly. I mean, and I made it very obvious. Like I kept like putting my left hand up to my face so he could see my ring, and like whenever the bartender handed me the drink, I like reached like right in front of his face with my left hand just so he could see it. He knew.
Nice.
I
Yeah,
guess
if he's dumb enough
I
to
guess he was just trying to
continue,
be nice. I don't know. I
yeah,
didn't care.
if he's dumb enough to continue pursuing after that, then he's dumb enough to buy you a drink. I think that you're smart enough to take his money.
Yeah, exactly. And
So,
like at the same time, like maybe it's one of those things like they started talking to you and like maybe said something about buying a drink and then saw the ring, but then they feel committed because they're like, I already said something about buying her a drink. I have to go through with it.
right,
Like just out of kindness.
right,
Like
man code,
don't be an Indian giver, okay?
right? I haven't heard that term in a minute. All right. So, what did we learn this episode?
I learned, if at all possible, get injured in a bar at the hands of the bar back if you want to drink for free all night.
I dig it. I learned that you probably shouldn't make your first kiss with the guy that works at JR's Foodland and has a bitch stash.
Bless it.
Bless him. Exactly. We were gonna tease next show, but it's a mystery. We're gonna
Mystery
like
show.
mystery show. You'll find out when we do because we have no idea what we're doing yet. It's no surprise to anybody. It could
We'll figure it
be,
out.
yeah, it could be something badass and very exciting. It could be something super, super lame. Probably more on that end, but we'll see. It'll
Fine.
be
It's whatever.
super, super mysterious. Call Scooby Doo.
Yes. Wow.
Right. All right. Well, do you have anything else, CJ? Speak your piece.
I got nothing.
Got nothing coming up
I got
empty?
nothing. Yep.
All right. Well, remember, always say yes to adventures because they I will edit that. I was doing so good, damn it.
Words are hard.
Words are so hard. Okay, take two. Remember, always say yes to adventures because they become stories. And in the end, that's all we are. Good night.
Good night.
Where's your piece? I missed that. That's your
Oh,
signature.
sorry. Take
Bitch.
two. Take two. Peace.
Damn it. Do it again. I talked over you.
Peace.
This concludes our broadcast day. Good night, and God bless America.